Little did they know, but on a July 19th, 1989 afternoon in Rio de Janeiro, 11 players from Rio Giants Flamengo and 11 from Amazonian side Paysandu were writing history. They were the protagonists of the very first encounter of the Copa do Brasil, a cup which grew to be labeled the most democratic competition in all of Brazilian football. Unlike the league, a spawn of former competitions like the Taça Brasil and Torneio Roberto Gomes Pedrosa, the Robertão, the Copa do Brasil has its own story after created back in 1989 by the Brazilian FA, in an attempt to shine the light on all corners of this vast football-crazed nation, not just the rich Southeast. A main problem is that until 1986, football and politics mixed in a very outrageous manner, to the point where an unimaginable number of 100 teams made up the first division in 1987. The military dictatorship, giving two craps about football and only interested in their political party's interests, crowded the league with meritless teams from places of no strong football background, resulting in a weakened, technically poor, with uninterested fans in the tournament. That's where the Copa do Brasil came in. It was a sort of a Champions Cup between the 27 state champions plus 5 state runners-up with the best attendance average to fill the remaining places and make it a 32-team purely knockout-style competition. The result was exciting football that gave clubs from every state the chance to attain glory in its highest form, especially when the champions automatically qualified to the prestigious Copa Libertadores after only 10 games in total, as opposed to about 30 during the league. Who wouldn't like that? This year, its 27th edition bore 87 clubs. 8 are now left, standing after a top-class round of 16s, which included fierce rivalries, local and regional. Now for the quarterfinals, a psychologically distraught Internacional take on a solid Palmeiras, who split their attentions with the league as well. Vasco da Gama with 98% chances of relegation in the league, stated by the league's very own master mathematician, versus the São Paulo, who will have Brazilian football newcomer, Colombian coach Osorio, staying far away from his 3-5-2 formation. Great when executed correctly, painful to watch when it's not, as was the case a few matches ago before he reverted back to a 4-man backline. And Santos, a side who's turned their season around so amazingly and eliminated league leaders Corinthians through 2 golden performances by the brilliant and now national team member Lucas Lima, Brazil's best playmaker at the moment, versus humble Southerners Figueirense of starlet Cleitinho, who not so humbly buried the defending cup champions Atlético Mineiro last stage. And finally, Fluminense of Ronaldinho, revisiting the club who launched them, and the record Copa do Brasil champion with 4 titles won in 7 finals, Grêmio, whose un-Brazilian and more porteño-like fans always felt betrayed by the former best in the world. In my opinion, the best storyline of the quarterfinals. With the possibility of having a Grenal, Grêmio versus Inter, and a Sansão, Santos versus São Paulo, derbies and the semis, how can we not love the Copa do Brasil? I'm not going to say place your bets because you'll probably get it wrong, but I will say let the quarterfinals begin. Now, which one of you will be bold enough to risk getting all 4 results right? Let's talk some football. Comment below and don't forget to subscribe. See you next week.